This is the story of the oldest hero's journey ever told. Long before Hercules or King Arthur, there was Gilgamesh, a king so powerful he was part god. But power doesn't mean wisdom, and Gilgamesh's journey would teach him lessons about friendship, mortality, and what it truly means to live. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a 4,000-year-old tale from Sumeria, and yet it still speaks to us today. Let's dive into this epic journey together and uncover the secrets of humanity's first hero. Sit back, relax, and allow us to take you back to a time once lost to history. Gilgamesh ruled the great city of Uruk, a place of beauty and strength. But Gilgamesh himself, let's just say he wasn't winning any popularity contests. He was 2/3 god, 1/3 human, and 100% insufferable. The people were desperate. They begged the gods for relief, and the gods answered. By creating Enkidu, a wild man as powerful as Gilgamesh, meant to keep him in check. Enkidu lived like a beast until he was introduced to civilization. And Gilgamesh, when they met, it was like two storms colliding. They fought for hours, their strength equally matched. But instead of hatred, they found respect, and their rivalry turned into one of the greatest friendships in ancient literature. Together, they decided to seek glory by taking on Humbaba, the fearsome guardian of the cedar forest. Humbaba wasn't just a monster, he was a force of nature. His roar could topple trees, and his breath was fire. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu, they were fearless. With their combined strength and the blessing of the sun god Shamash, they managed to defeat Humbaba, chopping down the sacred cedars as trophies. Fresh off their victory, Gilgamesh caught the attention of Ishtar, the goddess of love and war. She was smitten. Ishtar appeared to Gilgamesh and proposed marriage, but Gilgamesh wasn't having it. He laughed in her face, and for good reason. Gilgamesh went on to list the series of past lovers Ishtar had held, and then scorned harshly. He called the goddess out as being an unfaithful and dangerous partner. Furious, Ishtar stormed back to heaven. She demanded justice from her father, Anu, for Gilgamesh's insult. She stomped and pouted until he finally responded. Her answer? The bull of heaven, a celestial beast so powerful its steps caused earthquakes and its breath dried up rivers. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu faced it together, despite its power to rip open the earth. After a fierce battle, they struck the bull down, enraging the gods even further. The gods decided that one of them had to pay for their arrogance. They chose Enkidu. As Enkidu lay dying, Gilgamesh faced the unbearable pain of losing his best friend. His grief transformed into fear, not just of losing Enkidu, but of his own mortality. Gilgamesh was so shaken, he refused to bury his dear friend for almost a full week after his death. In his desperation, Gilgamesh set out on a quest to find Napishtim, a man who had been granted the gift of immortality after surviving the gods' great flood. Gilgamesh arrived at the edge of the world, ready to fight Napishtim for the secret of eternal life. But Napishtim wasn't a warrior. He was a survivor. Instead of a battle, he told Gilgamesh the story of the flood and explained why the gods granted him immortality. Gilgamesh relented on his desire to demonstrate his superiority over Napishtim in combat, but was still determined to win eternal life. Napishtim gave Gilgamesh a challenge to show him the futility of his errand, to stay awake for a whole week. Gilgamesh royally failed and felt defeated. But as Gilgamesh prepared for his journey home, Napishtim's wife prompted her husband to not allow the hero to return to Uruk empty-handed. Napishtim then revealed to Gilgamesh that a magical seaweed could grant him eternal life down at the bottom of the sea. Determined to fulfill his quest, Gilgamesh retrieved the plant of youth from the depths of the sea. He boasted of giving the plant to the old men of Uruk to test it before he himself consumed it. But as he rested on his journey home, a snake slithered into camp and stole it, shedding its skin as a flaunt of victory. Defeated, Gilgamesh realized that immortality wasn't something he could claim. Back in Uruk, Gilgamesh finally understood the meaning of his quest. His legacy wasn't in living forever, but in the walls he built, the stories he inspired, and the people he led. His greatness wasn't about defying death, it was about living fully and leaving behind an epic story. Gilgamesh finally saw the truth. He had actually succeeded in his quest. His story would be told for thousands of years to come, even to this very day. The Epic of Gilgamesh isn't just an ancient tale, it's a reflection of our own fears, dreams, and quest for meaning. Whether it's friendship, loss, or the search for purpose, Gilgamesh's journey is one we all walk in some way. What will your legacy be? Stay tuned for our upcoming podcast episode, doing a deep dive into the Epic of Gilgamesh and comparative mythology. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover more ancient myths and the lessons they hold.